FlossTube, how are you? It's Colleen, Rebel Stitcher, and as always, I'm joined by my handsome sidekick, Albus. So you will be hearing snoring throughout the video. Excuse me. This is my Nashville Needle Market release video. I will not be following my typical FlossTube format. This is a special episode. I will release a FlossTube video in a couple days. That's, you know, standard what I've been personally stitching on. This episode is all about Needlework Market. This is my first Nashville market. I vacillate between unbelievable excitement and paralyzing terror. So I'm either super excited or fighting the urge to puke, depending on the moment. You know, it ebbs and flows. This will be the first needlework market that I will be attending. I will be there as a designer. I will be in Suite 405. I'm going to show you what I'll be bringing to market this year. Hopefully something will strike your fancy. And if they do, make sure you reach out to your local needlework shop or your online needlework shop, wherever you purchase your supplies from, and put in an order for the things you've seen here today so that the buyers going know what they need to buy. I have 3 exclusive needlework charts and 1 exclusive needle minder. And by exclusive, that means it is only available to be purchased to the people who are attending market. It'll be exclusive to them as a thank you for taking the time to come to Needlework Market for several months. After that, I will sell them PDFs and hard copies on my website. But until then, please reach out to wherever you buy your cross stitch supplies for. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let me show you what I've been working on. The first will be a booklet containing 3 charts, and the title is Civil Samplers. The inspiration for this was quotes by 3 prominent voices in the civil rights movement from different arenas. I have lots of notes, so I want to get all the information right. So if you see me flipping my notebook or looking down, that's why. So these are the chart or the finished products from Civil Samplers. I finished them all into little pillows and they work really great. They're good size to put in a dough bowl and to do a little grouping. You might just decide you like one of the quotes or none of the quotes. Hopefully you like all 3, and I will go through them for you. Excuse me. The first is called Good Trouble, and this is a famous quote by John Lewis, and it says, "Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble, necessary trouble." I model stitched this one on 20 count Ada from Fortnite Fabrics. I think it was from their Fabric of the Month Club, so it didn't have a title, but it's just a nice soft blue. The stitch count is 115 by 60 approximately, and it's finished into this beautiful little pillow. All of these pillows were finished by Jan Calvert. And she just does an impeccable job. But you know, you can put whatever spin you want. But there you go. The second chart is called Folding Chair. And this says, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. This quote is by Shirley Chisholm. In this book also, I will have a small little blurb, well, not blurb, but little bio of each of the 3 people that the quotes were inspired by. And I love this border on this one. And And then this little has an S and a C for Shirley Chisholm. Again, beautifully finished pillow by Jan Calvert. And I must thank Justine Cook, who model stitched this pillow for me. The details on this is stitched on 40 count pink chocolate by Bestitch Me. And all of these charts are a mix of DMC and Classic Colorworks, and a lot of the colors overlap. So hopefully you can, you know, reuse some of the colors. But you also can pick your own, you know, if this color scheme isn't to your liking. And the last chart in the booklet is inspired by a poem, actually, by Maya Angelou, and it's called Caged Bird. And this is a line from a much longer poem, and it says, "The caged bird sings of freedom." I actually model stitched this one. This is stitched on Happily Ever After 20 count Aida by Fortnight Fabric, and I just love that bird on there, and those flowers to me are an interpretation of bleeding heart flowers. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They bloom in early spring, and they look like a little, like exactly what the name is, a bleeding heart. And I just love it. And the bird busted out of the cage, and he's got the key in his mouth, and that's, again, beautifully finished by Jan Calvert. And so that's Civil Samplers is the name of that chart. And within that chart, you get all three of these. And hopefully you guys like it. I tried to keep the palette similar, but not super matchy-match. But, you know, you can certainly pick your own and put a good spin on it. So that's the first market exclusive release. Let me just move this over here. Excuse me. The next chart I'm super excited about. A lot of people are probably gonna think I lost my mind. It is my first reproduction sampler. People are like, Colleen, why are you know, you're dipping your toes into the fancy lady arena. And when you see how beautiful this chart is, you'll understand why I fell in love, and I couldn't leave it alone. This chart, this antique sampler just got in my brain and would not let go. So let me show you the original, the antique sampler, and then I can show you my adaptation of it. So here is the antique. Let's see if you can see that. This chart is going to be called Anne Pilgrim 1819. And there you go there. This, I mean, when you find an antique sampler, a lot of times you're going to want to look at the back to get a truer sense of the colors. Because of the age of this sampler, some of these stitches were merely a suggestion, and I could not take it off I mean, it was actually whoever framed this originally, or last, I should say, did a good job, and they stitched it on like a muslin on top of an archival map board. So they did a good job, and if I took it off of there, I know I would have lost stitches. So I did my best to kind of figure out what silks little Anne Pilgrim, who was 14 when she stitched this, would have used. I love this maple frame that the original came in. The sampler is just gorgeous, but let me show you my adaptation of it. I'll leave it right here so you can kind of see that. Beautiful spring colors, so vibrant. I have to take this to the framers today. Ooh, 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 get back here. So here it is. Is it not unbelievably stunning? This is stitched on 40 count hog bristle by Fox and Rabbit, and the silk is a Versoix Soie silk. Yes, I'm very fancy here, but this, I could tell that this was originally stitched in silk, so I was trying to be as true to the original as possible. The color on this is just absolutely stunning. It's strawberries around the border, and anybody can stitch this. Ada stitchers, do not be afraid. There are no over one. There's no specialty stitches. Well, the only specialty stitches is in these flowers are satin stitches, but you can totally do that, and you can totally do that on Ada. I look at these little guys down here. They're like little monkey lion dogs. So cute. I literally sat, as people who reproduce samplers do, with a magnifying glass in my on my computer, and stitch by stitch did my best to keep this as true to the original as possible. There were some spots where stitches were missing, and since the motifs repeated, I would look at the other side and look at this side and do my best. I'm just kind of zoom in here so you could see how stunning. Look at those trees. This is the other satin stitch. This flower and this flower are both satin stitches. This is absolutely a labor of love. I have to thank my friend Susie, who was the model stitcher of this, also known as FlossTube on Instagram. I have to thank her tremendously. This was quite an undertaking to stitch this model and work out all the little kinks. Those berry bowls with those birds. Oh my goodness, with the lemons in them. And oh, I just have to show you, look at those cute little deer. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, those deer are cute. So this chart will be at market. There's no over one, there's no alphabet, there's no Bible verses. So if I was to fall in love with a sampler, that is definitely the one for me. The color palette is just so springy and cheerful and perfect for some non-winter gloomy stitching, if you will. Let's see, did I forget anything on that? Oh, the stitch count is approximately 260 by 300. So she's a big girl, but you can get her easily out of a fat half with plenty of room to spare. You can stitch it all with the only floss that you need 2 skeins of to stitch it is the 2134, which is this green in the border. It gets used in a few other motifs also, so that's the only one you're going to need to pick up 2 skeins of. I mean, but this was stitched on 40 count, so I guess maybe if you're stitching it on 14 count or something, you might go through more floss. But like I said, it's easily able to be stitched on Ada. There's no over one, and I just love that chart, and hopefully you guys will too. The last chart is called Happily Ever After, and it is still at the framers. So I'm gonna have to do some website, editing magic here, which is not my forte. If you know me at all, I am not very technologically savvy, but hopefully I'll figure out how to put it over here. If not, I'll have to attach it at the end and look really unprofessional. But I will read what it says. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this and pick it back up. Sorry about that. So like I was saying, my third cross stitch chart that will be released at market is still currently at the framers. I'm going to try to insert a picture of it, but in case you can't read it, this chart, I'm going to give you a disclosure. If you are offended by curse words, this chart is probably not for you. However, the chart says, there once was a woman who gave no fucks, not even one. She lived happily ever after. So like I said, it's kind of classic Colleen humor. My inspiration on this was to marry a snarky quote with sweet, soft, traditional sampler motifs. So you kind of think it is just a sweet sampler from a distance, and then you read the quote and you kind of get, whoa, wasn't expecting that. So since it is in the frame shop still, I'm going to show you the palette. So this is the linen it is stitched on, and this is the palette. There's one DMC and the rest is all classic colorworks, and this is what was left after stitching. Sorry if this is not very good Vanna White of me, but there you go. So very soft, sweet colors that make this chart. I have to, let's see, this is 40 count milk chocolate by XU Design, and these are all classic colorworks with one DMC. The stitch count is 220 by 155, and I have to put a special thank you out to the model stitcher, Jan Gorski, who stitched this for me, also known as the Frog Stitcher on Instagram. When I brought this piece to the frame shop, the framers really got a kick out of it and were laughing quite hard because I don't think they realized what it said at first. So I was like, oh, good, mission accomplished. I got some chuckles out of this one. Sorry I don't have that one physically to show you, but I wanted to get this video out so people could get a sense of what's coming. Once I get it fully finished from the framers, I will show it on Instagram for you. But hopefully that one doesn't offend you and you get a chuckle out of it. So that's all of the charts that I will be releasing at market that are exclusives. The last market exclusive that hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have, excuse me, at market is a needle minder. I don't physically have it in my hands yet. It's still being made, but I thought I could show you my process on how I made this. This idea is actually also suggested by my friend Susie a while back. And this is a picture of the sketch of how I started for this needle minder. I thought it might be interesting to kind of show you this, because this is how all my needle minders get started. I am old school. I don't draw on a computer or do graphic design or anything like that. I literally take a pencil and paper and sketch out my needle minders. I do a pencil drawing, and when I find a pencil drawing I like, then I sit with literally colored pencils and decide on the palette and color it in. So, and then I send it to the manufacturer. They make a mold, make the enamel part, send it to me. Then I glue the magnets on the back and card and package them up, and off they go. So that's how the needle minders get made. Anyways, after the trip through needle minder making, I thought that this birthday cake was the perfect needle minder to celebrate birthdays and all the sales we do to celebrate our own birthdays and people in a stitching community, you know, all the stitch alongs we do for our friends. So that was the inspiration for that one. So fingers crossed I'll have it in time. It's going to be cutting close. Send some good vibes that it doesn't get lost in the mail. But that's it. That's what I will be bringing to market. In addition to the market exclusives, I will also be bringing all the charts I've designed and all my needle minders, my original design minders with me, because I figured this was a good introduction to me. I'm not in a ton of needlework shops right now, so in addition to the market exclusives, the shops will also be able to pick from my catalog of charts. I really appreciate your time, you taking the time to watch this video, to learn what I'm bringing, what I've been up to lately. Like I said, I am a super nervous wreck, and hopefully I'll be able to go to sleep after market, because I've just been driving myself crazy trying to get ready. If you're at market and you're watching this video, come to Suite 405. I'm going to bring my Keurig, so I'll be happy to share a cup of joe with you if you need one, if you need a little caffeine for your busy travels. And that's it. Don't forget, if you're a stitcher and you liked anything piqued your interest, to reach out and support and order from your local needlework store or your favorite online needlework store, and let them know that you would like these titles from Rebel Stitcher. And unfortunately, Albus will not be at market, so he will not be able to say goodbye or hello to all the peoples that will be there, but I think he'd just sleep through it anyway. So thanks for watching. Bye to peoples, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.